Number 1. For number 1, we're looking at, on the math workshop, it says the length of a rectangle is more than the width by x units. Then it also tells me the width is 20, the length is 25, which equation can be used to find x, and what is the value. So guys, I want us to just look at like these first 6 words. The first 6 words. So guys, the first thing I want us to do is I want us to be able to change these English words into like math, or more appropriately algebra, because we're going to use some letters too. So in this first sentence, not even worried about what the rest of it says the length of a rectangle is. The length of a rectangle is. What could I write to change that to math? If it says the length of a rectangle is, just that part, not the other stuff in the question, the length of a rectangle is, how could I rewrite that in math? Aaron? Okay, now if I'm talking about the length of a rectangle, and I think that it already used x later on, so we can't use x. The length of a rectangle is. So you're kind of on the right track. Fernando?
What is the length of a rectangle?
I want you to put it in math, not to ask me another question. Chase? Guys, the length of a rectangle is. I just want you to change that to math symbols or algebra letters. Okay, the length of a rectangle is. How could I rewrite that? Chase? I just want you to tell me what does that mean mathematically or algebraically? What does that mean? Addison? What could I replace that with? An L. The length of a rectangle. For the length of a rectangle, we use L. All right, but I still have this word is. What does is mean mathematically? What does is mean mathematically? Aaron? All right, so I want you to think about it. Like if I say, I don't know, 5 is 2 plus 3. Did I multiply 5 times 2 plus 3? No, guys, think about, raise your hand, please, okay? Guys, the word is in math works the same as in English. So if I say Aaron is a boy, did I multiply anything there in life? No, but Aaron clearly is a boy, all right? So I need to make sure that I'm replacing is with something that makes sense in English, because that's what that says. That's where the word comes from. And math. All right, so what do you think is could be replaced with? All right, so Brady, if I say Brady is in Miss Sawyer's math class, Brady is in Miss Sawyer's math class. Am I adding math class? And Brady, no. All right. Am I taking math class away? No. All right, guys, I need you to think about is mathematically. Addison, did you have an idea for what we could use for is? Equals. If we could raise our hand, that would be fantastic, because that's exactly what our class needed to hear. Equals. So, Brady, if I say Brady equals in Miss Sawyer's math class, does that make sense because he is in my class? If I say Aaron equals a boy, that makes sense because Aaron's a boy. All right, if I say 5 equals 2 plus 3, is that the same as 5 is 2 plus 3? So when you see the word is in math, what does it mean? Equals. Okay, so it says the length of a rectangle is. So we're good with that being L equals? Okay. Now it says more than the width by x units. More than the width. What am I going to use for width? W. Let's raise our hand, please, Valentina. All right, so I have more than the width by x units. So what is that saying? What am I doing with that x? More than the width by x units.
Multiply it or divide.
All right, so multiply, is it repeating? Divide would mean I'm splitting it up. Harper?
Subtraction.
More means to take something away.
Addition.
Diana? We're not talking about the answer yet. We're not there yet. What does it mean if I'm saying more than the width by x units? What am I doing with that x? If I say 5, so again, here we have L equals W. If I say 5 is 3 more than 2, what am I supposed to be doing with that? Do y'all agree 5 is 3 more than 2, isn't it? Okay. What would I be doing with it if it's saying more than? What is that asking me? Aaron? I'm adding. Guys, more. More of something. I want some more of them cookies. I want more. I'm adding them to my plate. All right? Today at lunch, I really wanted some more of them onion rings. All right? So I wanted to add them to my plate. I want more than the width. So I want to add. How much am I adding? It says X units. So do I know what that is right now? So I'm just going to put plus X. So guys, I want to pause here right here. Are there any questions on where I got this information from? Are y'all okay with that? Then it tells me the width is 20. So what do I want to do with 20? What, Fernando?
Put the W next to it because that's the width.
Mm-mm. This has something to do with the width. The width is 20. What do I want to do? Shelby?
Instead of putting the W,
Mhm.
put 20.
Very good. So I want to change this W. Instead of W, what do I want there? 20. So I'm going to mark out my W. I'm going to say, hey, this needed to be 20. So now it says equals 20 plus X. Are y'all okay with where that came from? And the length is 25. What am I doing with 25, Morelli?
You replace the X with
The X,
the
which is which letter?
L.
The L. I'm going to change my L to 25. All right? Now, guys, this isn't in the perfect order, but can I pick an answer that kind of looks like that? Do I have any answer choices that kind of look like that, Davis? C. What else? D. So C says there's 20 plus X, and it says it's equal to 25. Here's 20 plus X, it says it's equal to 25. So do y'all agree it's C or D?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to mark out A and B. I know it's not those. How am I going to choose? How do I know if it's C or if it's D? How do I know which one to pick? Looking for a new hand. New hand, not Aaron. New hand. Not Fernando's, not Chase's, not Diana's. Davis, I've called on you as well. Called on Morelli. How am I going to choose C or D? Harper, I think I've called on you as well. Tyler?
Keep adding the 20 to get 25.
Okay, so what do I need to add to 20 to get to 25?
Plus 5.
Plus 5. And which of these tells me that?
C.
C. So 5 is telling me, hey, X has to be 5 because 20 plus the 5 is what gives me 25. So C is what we're looking for. All right, number 2.
That was easy.
When filling a tank, a high-pressure hose delivers 910.8 liters in 16.5 hours. How many liters fill the tank in 1 hour? What do I need to do here? What do I need to do here? Fernanda?
You need to multiply 910.8 divided by 1.
You just told me 2 different things. You did.
But
Aaron?
you need
You need to do 910.8 divided by 16.
910.8, and a lot of you are telling me to do divided by 16.5. When you said it in the math, you said divide, but when you said initially, you told me to multiply. So just be careful because you said both of them in your sentence, okay? All right? So guys, you notice, how did I write my division? As a fraction. So guys, I kind of want to show you something that's happening here. So 9.8 is liters. I'm going to use a capital L for liters. 16.5 is hours, right? All right, so Aaron just said we're dividing this by 16.5, which is the same as dividing the top and bottom by 16.5. So what do I get on the top when I do divide that by 16.5? What do I get there? Davis? 55.2, and that's still my liters. What do I end up with on the bottom? What do I end up with on the bottom, Davis? 1. Because what was it asking me about? 1 hour. Guys, what is this called? What did we just find? That has a special name. Raise your hand. What is that called? What is that special name for what we just found? Brady? Close.
Ratio.
Diana? Unit rate. So my answer was the 55.2. But guys, remember, this is called a unit rate. You might want to write this down because we have a 9 weeks test this Friday, And I guarantee that word unit rate, you're going to see it, okay? All right, so what I want you to do right now is we're going to update our table of contents. So on my regular table of contents list, remember your number 36. I have your number 36. I have that test review. I'm going to try to give that back to you today. Number 37, you're adding number 37, which is your area review. So we're going to add 37.
You still missing a calculator?
No, I need to erase that. We need to add 37 to our list. Adding 37 to your list. As we go over these, I'm just going to kind of skip around to kind of make sure that you're starting them. I'm not going to do all of them with you, but it should give you a pretty good idea of how to start. Tonight I will send out a picture of the answers. Guys, if I'm sending a picture that's not going on YouTube, this video will, all right? But if I'm sending a picture, how are you going to be able to check your answers with the picture? What do you have to go to check that? Morelli? Remind. Which remember that means you either get those notifications and you have the app, or you need to go to my website and all of the reminds show up on there as well, okay? So for number 1, it says the area of each shape. What shape is number 1? Chase? Morelli? It's a parallelogram. What is my formula for a parallelogram, Addison? What is my formula? A equals BH. All right. What is my base and my height for this parallelogram, Tyler?
4 and 10.
So I got 4, and then my height is going to be 10. And then, so what is my area going to be here, Malin? 40 feet. With a 2. 40 feet with a 2. Remember, area is squared. If it has a V, you put a 3. But if it's area, it's squared. All right, I'm going to skip over number 2. You're going to work it the same way. Please be careful with those fractions in your calculator. We're going to move down. I'm going to look at number 3. So number 3 is a triangle. What is my formula for number 3 going to be, Fernando?
It's going to be A equals BH divided by 2.
A equals BH divided by 2. So what is my base and my height going to be here, Tyler?
18 3/4 and 9 1/2.
18 3/4 times 9 1/2, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So when I type that carefully into my calculator, 18 3/4 times 9 1/2, then we push enter and divide by 2. What do I get, Aaron?
Thank you.
All right, type that in carefully. Well, type it in. Get your calculator out. Try typing it in. All right, Tyler, I've already called on you twice. What do I get when I multiply those and divide by 2? McKenna? Oh, still typing it? Okay, go ahead. Get that typed in for me. What'd you get, Angel?
89. And 1/16.
89 1/16. All right, do y'all agree?
Nope.
89 1/16. I think that's what I had. What am I missing, though? Malin?
The
Yards with the 2. Yards squared. Valentina? Okay. Yards squared. All right, if you did not get that in your calculator, let me see your calculator because you've typed something in incorrectly. So, Fernando, I think you said no. Do you need me to look at your calculator real quick?
I said because he forgot to say
Oh, the yard squared. Okay, I got you. Very good. All right. But if we'd already divided by 2. 18 3/4 times 9 1/2 should give me 160 or 170 something. When you multiply those, if you need me to look at your calculator, bring it up here. Shh. You have to multiply, because when they're right next to each other, that means multiplication. Okay?
And plus the parentheses means to multiply.
This parentheses means multiply if they're next to each other. All right? I want us to look at number 6. So number 6 is a trapezoid. What formula will I need to use for number 6, Aaron?
A equals B1 plus B2 and H.
Really?
Divide
Divide by 2. We can't forget that too. So I get A equals. What are my base one, B1 and B2? Guys, B and B match, so I need to pick the lines that match. Which of those lines look like they are matching? Morelli?
The 7 and 9.
The 7 and 9. Those are the ones going the same direction. So I'm going to do 7 plus 9. What is my height going to be here? Now this one's a little tricky. What is my height, Valentina? 3.5. Why did you not use the 4, Valentina?
Because it's slanted.
That 4 is slanted. It's leaning. The 3.5 is up and down. Don't forget to put your 2 on the bottom. All right. Now we got to be careful. Make sure we do this in the right order. What am I going to do first here? What am I going to do first, Chase?
Add 7 plus 9.
Perfect. And what do we get there?
16.
16. And then I still have my times 3 1/2, and then we still have divided by 2. So when I do my 16 times 3 1/2, push enter, and then divide by 2, what do I get here? What do I get, Jose?
9 rolls in 4.
9 and 4 over
7.
7. All right, let's double check. Type that. Let me see what you got in your calculator. If you'll bring that up here, Aaron.
I got B8.
Okay. Don't forget to divide by.
Divided by 2.
Oh, divided by 2. Okay. Fernando.
I've got 38 over 1 9.5. I did divided by
McKenna.
You got
28. And Aaron got 28. Addison.
17.5.
All right, Addison, I want to see your calculator. Jose, I need to see your calculator. I need you walking those up here, please. Angel. 28.
28.
Still waiting on calculators. If I called your name, I'm expecting that up here, please.
22 over 4.
28 yards squared. Who else did I say?
I realized what I did.
You realized? Yeah, so you got to do that separately. Didn't work it out perfect, okay? Who's else? Fernando's?
It says 28.
That's correct. Okay, so right here, you see where you said 7 plus 9?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do 7 plus 9, enter. And then, do you see how we wrote 16 times 3 1/2?
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to do 16 times 3 1/2, enter, divided by 2, enter.
28.
Okay? So guys, so real quick, just to kind of go over this, hey, I need you to focus or I'm going to stop. Okay? What happened, every single calculator that I saw where we did make a mistake, that 9 plus 7, you have to get that number in your calculator and push enter. So that gives you 16. Now I can do 16 times 3 1/2 in my calculator and then divide by 2. But you've got to do the addition on its own. You can't like put it all in the problem in the calculator, okay? All right. Number 7, we're graphing this and then we're going to find the area. So for number 7, the first one I'm going to graph is negative 10, 6. Negative 10, 6. Morelli, how am I going to graph it?
You're going to go 10 backwards.
Backwards 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you haven't graphed this, make sure we're doing it. And now what?
And 6 up.
6 up because it's positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure that your dot is in the correct place. If you haven't graphed this, make sure you're graphing it as we go. All right, you're going to have to count them out to get it in the right spot. In your head, please, Fernando, so you don't mess up other people's counting, okay? All right, my next one, when I count out the next one, where am I going to go? Valentina.
Is that how you say it, but like the side is in there?
Okay, so forwards or backwards? Positive, so we're going forward, so I'm going to go over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now what?
Now you're going to go up 2, 6.
Up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my other dot. All right, and you can go ahead and draw the line connecting them. Okay, Now the next one. So I've graphed the first, the second. What's going to be next? How am I going to graph that one? Aaron?
You're going to go forward 7,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Forward 7, and then
down 10.
down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Guys, please count carefully, and it might help to count a little slowly so we don't miss any lines. Okay. All right, now I need to graph my last one. How am I going to graph that one? Fernando?
You going to go to the left 10 times.
Okay, so left or backwards 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go down 10.
down 10. So
That's
1,
gonna
2,
give you
3,
a
4,
square.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
That's gonna give you.
Okay. So when I graph this, it does kind of look like a square. Now remember, we can't say it's a square unless we know the sides are the exact same, right? So it looks like a square, but we can't say it's a square. Now they called it a parallelogram. Why would they call it a parallelogram and then it look like a square? Brady? Okay, and a rectangle is a parallelogram.
Even a square.
Even a square is a parallelogram. Okay, so let's do parallel. The P got marked off with the hole punch. All right, what is my formula going to be that I need to use here? Relly? A equals BH. Since it said parallelogram, we are going to use that BH, even though it kind of looks like a square or a rectangle. All right, so for my base, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to start at one corner. I'm going to count over. Now, guys, when I count over, I'm going to mark it. Why would I mark it?
So you can count.
So I don't get confused, so that I can count, so that I don't lose my spot, okay? So I'm going to count over. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, what numbers did you get when you counted over on the bottom? 17. That's what I got. So I got A equals, so my base is 17. Now, guys, the height looks the same, but can I just, assume that's the same number? No, we need to count it out again. So counting that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. In your head. 6, 7. All right, what did we get when we counted the up and down? Addison? 16. Is that what you got, Tyler? 16. I got 16 as well. If you did not get 16, please count again. Be careful. All right, so we've counted something wrong there, okay? So make sure, what I want you to do, Fernando, do you have these little, hills made?
I got
16. You got 16. You were just kidding. Okay. So 17 times 16. So when I work it out, what am I going to get as an answer here on number 7? Harper Joe?
272 units squared.
Awesome job on the measurement. 272 units squared. And I love how she said the unit squared without me even having to ask. Awesome job.
Hello.
All right. I want us to we're going to look at number 8. So number 8 is a weird shape. So what can I do to it? Because it's kind of funky looking. What can I do, Morelli?
You make it into a rectangle and a triangle.
Very good. We're going to make a rectangle and a triangle.
Split it.
We're just going to split it up. And y'all know me, I like to number it. So I'm going to number the rectangle shape 1 and the triangle shape 2. That just helps me to know where my work
It's
is.
sort of small.
Okay? So that was with that one above. Okay, so shape 1. For that shape 1, what formula do I need to use for shape 1 for that rectangle, Jose? What formula do I need to use? A equals BH. Perfect. Could I use A equals LW? Yes, but we can also use A equals BH. So on that rectangle, Malin, what's the base and the height for the rectangle?
4.
Okay. 4 and 6, or 6. I'm going to use 6 as my base, 4 as my height. On a rectangle, does it matter though? No. All right. Because, they're both right angles. 24 meters squared. Okay. Now for shape 2. Now shape 2 is my triangle, so we got to be a little bit careful. What formula am I using there, Valentina? A equals BH divided by 2. So I get A equals, what is my base on the triangle? My base. Tyler? 4. Excellent job. So he knew that the base, y'all see how it has to go straight across there? And if it's 4 over on this side of the rectangle, guess what that one is? 4 as well. So there's where I put my 4. So base is 4. What is the height going to be, Aaron? 2. Because see, that's going up and down all the way from the bottom to the top. So 2 is my height divided by 2. So what is my area going to be here when I do 4 times 2 divided by 2? Aaron? 4 meters squared. All right, now, Jaden, you just stuck your hand up. I know it's not the question that you raised it for, but what am I going to do with these? I add them. Perfect. So we're going to do 24 plus 4. So what is my answer here, Malin?
28 meters squared.
28 meters squared. I'm going to circle that. Excellent job. All right.
Hold on.
Huh?
Isn't it supposed to, number 2, 4 times,
You're good? Okay. All right. Now, number 10, I want to look at number 10. So, number 10, we can split that up. Or what else do you notice about number 10? Really?
It can just be a trapezoid.
This is a trapezoid. So, do I have to split it? No, in fact, it's probably going to be easier just to do a trapezoid. So, A equals, we're using our B1 plus B2 times the height divided by 2. So, guys, I skipped 9, which means you need to make sure you get 9 done tonight. So, A equals. Now, this one's a little tricky. What are my 2 bases going to be? All right, Marley?
3.5 and 10.
Okay, so I see where we got 10. 10 is right here. And I see where you got 3.5, but is that actually on the shape? No. So I need to find this piece that's on the shape. Do you know how we're going to do that, Malin? No. Ideas? What do we think we're going to do to do that? Fernando?
You could divide 10.
We can't just divide it. Marley?
It's just, I don't know if they're equal. The 6 is equal to the top.
It looks like they're the same, but I don't think they are. Brady?
That's going to be 6.5.
How do you know it's 6.5?
Okay, 6 plus 5, that's 9. And 5, and 0.5 plus 0.5, that equals 1. Then 9 plus 1.
Okay. Do y'all see this 3.5 here?
Yeah.
I've got to figure out what to add to that to get 10. Or another way to do that, guys, we're going to do 10 minus 3.5. What's 10 minus 3.5? You got a calculator? 6.5 is this measurement right here, okay? Okay, are y'all okay with that? Because that's what gives me the 10. Okay, so now what are my 2 bases?
6 and
10 plus
6.5.
6.5. What is my height?
The 3.5. No.
Why is it 6, Aaron? That's the one going up and down. Do you see 3.5? So tell me how tall it is?
Yes. No.
No, it's not even on the shape. We got to do the one going up and down, okay?
But what is it has like those arrows pointing and those lines that you told us or something?
This is here, right here? Are you talking about these or this dotted line?
No, I'm talking about both of them.
Okay.
Why are there
So this 3.5 is here. The dotted line is to show you where the end of that bottom line is. Do you agree the dotted line, that's where the end is?
Yes.
Okay. The 3.5 is to show you from this corner to that dotted line is 3.5, which lets me know if I take that piece, if I take that 3.5 away from 10, it leaves me with that top piece. So that's why we did the 10 minus 3.5.
That makes sense.
All right. So, guys, I'm going to leave this here. We've set it up. You should be able to work it out and get your answer, okay? All right. I want us to flip it over. I want us to look at let's do number 11, okay? I'm hearing you, Fernando, but I want us to do this one, and then we will have done one of each type, okay? Okay, so let's do it fast. All right. So we're going to need to do our outside. And since I'm making a hole, what am I doing? Subtracting the inside shape. So you're going to do the outside shape. What's the outside shape? The rectangle. So my formula is A equals LW or A equals BH. And then the inside is a, not trapezoid, parallelogram. So I'm going to use A equals BH. So you're going to do your outside shape. What is the length and width of the rectangle? Valentina? It's a tilted rectangle on the inside. That's a tilted rectangle. Okay. Davis? 10 and 8. And then the inside, what's the base and height? Aaron? The 9 and the 3 going up and down. And then you can multiply those, and then what will we do? Subtract them, okay? All right, you subtract. On number 12, you're doing the same thing. 13 and 14, we're back to having to split it and add, okay?